Man, what a fat ass. Look at that. How high, by the way? Because we're doing that again. So actually yesterday I just finished the post and beam episode. And I was actually extremely irritated about this project so far, and I wanted to do something else. But then I woke up and witnessed the amazing weather. And the irritation was just gone. Now I wanted to continue to build. I don't know. So we're gonna do another episode about the firewood shed. Must be super exciting by now. There's a little problem though. Like when there is not a problem, there's always a problem. It's not very significant though. Basically, at the moment I can't afford the roof panels for this guy. Now I can do everything else, all the lumber work, because I have the lumber over there, so that's already there. But the final finish, roof panels, can't do that at the moment. It's kind of expensive. Actually, it's kind of impressive how the prices have went up, especially on well, everything, but also roof panels. I did some calculations with a calculator this time, and apparently it's gonna cost about 1,300 something euros to cover this entire shed. I want to install the same stuff as that because it's easy to install, lasts almost forever, well, at least my lifetime, and oh yeah, it matches the rest of the roofs. Yeah, actually some of the roofs do have a different material for roofing. For example, this thing has concrete roof tiles, and believe it or not, this stuff is actually cheaper than that stuff. I don't know why, kind of makes no sense to me. Maybe because mass producing that stuff is easier than that stuff. I mean, they're both made out of cement basically, but there is some difference still between the two. I mean, this is pure concrete, no reinforcement inside, just pure concrete. But that's cement mixed with some fiber stuff, which help to keep the panel in one piece, because that's very thin and it's like this much. If you make that out of concrete, it's gonna just fall apart very easily. But I don't want to install concrete roofing on this. Although the structure is like indestructible, basically, it will hold up to concrete roofing, no problem. You can probably even do like 3 layers of the stuff on it, and it will not break. But you know, concrete roofing has this one little drawback. It doesn't work on certain grades. I think it was like 17 degrees if I remember correctly. Maybe we can get some information from internet. Oh man, look at that, the price. It's just insane, dude. Now actually, when I changed that roof out, I can't exactly remember when that was. Maybe 2015 or 16. So basically like almost 10 years now. But that's, now keep these numbers in mind, guys. So that's about 450 square meters, the entire roof area. Now with the extra addition of the carport, a bit over 500 basically. And for the roofing panels for that building, I paid 2,700 euros for 500 something odd square meters. And this is 90 square meters, and I have to pay 1,300 euros. Do a bit of math quickly. Mida sa tahad, Rott? 2,000 and mis asja? 600, right? Divided by 510. So that's 5 euros and 10 cents per square meter. And currently it's like 15. Wow, over 2 times more. Holy hell, the prices have went up significantly. But about the panel issue, what was the... Oh yeah, see, 14 degrees. This is the minimum you can go. I'm pretty sure this is less than that. Probably right. Now the problem which occurs if you put less than that is the concrete roof tiles are not waterproof per se. So let's imagine if the winter is ending and I have a bunch of snow on the roof. And that snow will not slide off the roof, it will just kind of start melting on the roof. And it will slowly start leaking through the tiles because they're not waterproof. I mean, those tiles, they don't have any seals or O-rings or any of that nonsense. O-rings? What? Whatever. They don't have any sealing factors. So if you have sitting snow on a roof and if it starts to melt, it's gonna leak through the roof itself, at least for concrete roofing. But that's not the problem with the panel roofing. At least I've had a lot of flat roofs. Even the previous sheds both had flat roofs on them, and I never had any leak through issues with the snow. Same situation there. I have the sawmill shed which I built last year. You know, at some point I had like a half a meter of snow on top. It started to melt, but nothing leaked through. So I guess the grade is not that important for flat roofs. I mean flat panel roofing. But for concrete tiles, that thing is just not gonna work. But no, if it was not the case, I would definitely go with the cheaper option and just install concrete roofing on the Firewood shed as well. That would be my first option. I would always go with the cheaper option. I personally think the concrete roofing itself looks a lot better than the stupid panel roofing, but I guess some of you guys would say that, no, why don't you get steel roofing? That's actually even more expensive. So concrete roofing is the cheapest option. Then well, there are cheaper options, but they're all crap and they're not gonna last 50 plus years. So that's why I'm gonna go with this option. But as of right now, because I can't afford those panels, then I'm not really sure when this video will be out eventually. Well, if it made it out there, then I definitely bought those panels, yeah. Just right now I'm not really sure. But I can do the prep work at least. Everything up to the point of the panel installation. And luckily there's really not a lot to do. And I just need to install something going that way. Actually, I need to install a couple of pieces that way first, then something going that way, and I think we're finished, basically. Now I need to install the pieces which will come this way first, because currently I don't have any overlap options for this side. So the roof would basically just kind of end with the wall, which is not good. The roof actually needs to go out a bit further. I did not really think about it until it was too late, as usual. But we can fix that with a couple of, I think like 2x4s should do the trick pretty well. Get like a row of 2x4s going on top of the post materials, and it needs to overlap the shed. I wanna actually use the 2x6s for the roof support. These guys down here. But I'm thinking maybe I can put them not vertically, but on their side, like horizontally. Then technically I will not need these pieces whatsoever. These will be the final anchor points where I will install the panels. But I think maybe the gap is not small enough for that. Maybe these are gonna bend through. I think the gap was like 1.3 meters. Maybe that's too much. I'm not really sure. Oh, and one of the gap is 1.8 meters. That's even less better. It would be a lot safer to walk up there though, if I had those 2x6s laying on their side, right? Rather than 2x2s, walking on 2x2s. I did that up here and it was very sketchy. I don't really want to repeat that there. It's so sucky that I can't install any more beams. I mean, I could fix the 1.8 meter wide issue with an extra beam, definitely. You know what? Let's get like a piece of 2x6 up there, see how it performs. Maybe it's fine. Firewood. Oh. And this would be so sweet if it worked. Dude, that feels pretty solid actually. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Just gotta fix the stupid giant cap. I mean, cap over there. Dude, that doesn't even bend. Look at that. I think this is fine. Yeah. We just gotta see that thing over there. See how that performs. No, this is quite bendy actually. Yeah. You know what? If I can solve this issue, then I can definitely use this setup. It would be a lot better to walk up here if I had the pieces like so. I mean, duh, right? A lot safer overall. Plus, I wouldn't need to use so much lumber. But what to put here? Maybe go to the forest and cut down a tree. Not sure. I don't have a long enough piece. This is so unfair. I have to waste your guys' time because of a mistake I made. Can't do freaking math. Now I still have one log remaining, which is 6 meters, but it had that giant crack at one end. Maybe I can like get one useful piece of this thing, like from somewhere there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure honestly if it's worth it. I mean, the crack even goes pretty further down the road. It's like ends somewhere here, so there's like 1.5 meters of useless log. That's an option, but okay. So basically, we have 3 options, I think. Option number 1: risk with the sketchy ass cracked log. Maybe we'll get a piece, maybe we'll not, and waste half a day. Option number 2: go to the forest and grab a 6-meter log from there. There's plenty of them there, by the way, but still, actually not a bad idea, but still, it's gonna take forever. I need to fire up everything for that. Option number 3 though: glue something together, but make sure you use super glue. I have a couple of these 4x8s. I was planning to use them on something else, but whatever. Guess we can put them on the firewood shed instead. And I figured maybe I can glue these 2 together and support these with the extra piece going that way. I think this is the easiest option to go with. Kind of makes sense as well. So let's do that. You know what I've learned from my previous mistakes? I'd rather restack a couple of pieces than the entire thing. I've made that mistake so many times. I think it would be wise to kind of finally learn from it. Ja siis 260 pluss 450. Sealt edasi. And about the other cut, I'm only willing to cut one piece. I'm 100% sure if I tried to cut them both on the sawmill, I'm gonna mess it up somehow, and then this option is useless. Can you stop doing that, please? Please stop jumping out of the freaking screw hole. So annoying thing, man. This thing always does that. But anyway, guys, I think we officially finished with the post and beam episode now. A bit late, but whatever. Now let's start off with the roof now. Unspun's lumberyard, Unspun's firewood yard, tractor repair shop, tank. What are these? What is little dirt doing here? What? Kus nad kadusid? Mis te peidate ennast siin? That is not okay. The little devils are not part of the spaceport, by the way. That would be wrong, right? Now guys, if you're wondering about why these pieces up here, it's actually pretty simple. Those pieces will give me the overlap on this side of the bond, and the other pieces will give me overlap on that side of the bond. So both the walls will be nicely overlapped with roof. That was the initial goal, obviously, but you know, the main beams they were not long enough to reach this far out on both sides. This is like a remedy to that situation, I guess. Not a big deal, honestly. Just need to use more lumber. And a lot of screws. Guys, I have some great news. I want to lift a bunch of 2x6s up there now. And I figured maybe I can use the old blue for that. So that gives us a reason to fire up the old blue. Yee-ho! Same situation, guys. I have the stuff that I need for somewhere on the other stuff. But check these ants out. These really giant ants. Man, they're all over the place. I think there's a nest somewhere. Maybe somewhere behind the building. Now, if they do have a nest, I think it's under this pile somewhere. At the moment, I can't see it. There's just a lot of ants going around all over the place, but I don't see the actual nest. You know, I haven't touched this pipe for at least a couple of months now. But I think it's gonna go no problem. Oh. Hi. Thank you very much. Whoa, look at that. Bunch of dead. Maybe crippled if lucky, but guys, I think this will work out great. Sadly, this is the highest it will reach, but this is enough. I don't need anything more. I can just kind of start going off from here and then grab new pieces, because these pieces are so wide I can very easily walk on this surface. It's gonna be like a floor almost. Now on a plus note, I can leave this guy as is. That thing will never sag down. Yeah, inside the gap there's like a manual hydraulic valve. You kind of switch that valve and then it will lock the cylinder, the fluid in the cylinders and the hoses into a closed circuit. So this thing will never sag down. I mean, we can do like a quick test. Now let's wait for the sun to be somewhere there. Whatever, close enough, man. Wait, what now? What happened? They turned the thing. Oh! I forgot to turn the other thing. Look at that. Whoops. By the way, guys, I got a strange new law for you. You remember that in the last video I mentioned the sawdust law. Like no matter where the wind is blowing, the sawdust always ends up in your face. I call it the sawdust law. And this would be the blank law, or maybe 2x6 law, or lumber law. So when you have a bunch of lumber scattered along your floor, then if you want to pick something up, and the first available option for you, the easiest thing to pick up, it's right in front of you, but the other end is always under some other blank. Like that. I mean, yeah, you want to pick this end up, this is the closest to you, but it's always under something else on the other end. So that's the blank law. It's always the case, and it's super annoying. So somewhere over here, but I'm gonna make it a bit shorter for safety reasons, because I want to walk up here. I'm thinking like 60 should be good, pretty good. Yeah. Okay, let's go a bit shorter. Yeah, this is pretty good. Now, there's actually one more little plus about using these. Now, when I'm installing the panels, there's less chance of me missing the mark with the screw. Now, if it's a 2x2, then I constantly just kind of miss the mark. Yeah, I would say this feels pretty okay. Much less sketchier than it was on that roof, because of that tiny thing I was supposed to walk on. This feels like safer a lot, actually. Now this impact driver doesn't have that stupid jumping off the head issue. Mostly because it's much weaker and stronger. Yeah. What the fuck? Mostly because it's much weaker and slower. Now I know you can say change the speed on this thing, but dude, in my opinion, these speeds make no sense whatsoever. I mean, currently it's at 4, so maximum. This thing is just... There's warp speed, man. This is pointless. Piece of crap. But if I set it to number 3, then... Oh, there. Look, number 3. Basically no difference. Still see the same speed. Yeah, basically same speed. Too fast. But if I set it to do... What the crap is that? Even my manure flies out of the rear end faster than this. Let's see, number 1. Yeah, number 1 is nothing. I don't really like this impact driver, honestly. You guys know how the old saying goes. Going slow and steady with a shotgun guarantees victory. I think I'm gonna do this part with Mr. Ladder. Seems a bit safer and a little bit more convenient, honestly. Let's go for a little ride. Yoink! Dude, look at that. Unspans is about to get screwed again. Better hurry this up. Oh crap. The cloud is moving so fast. Okay guys, time to go. Getting flashes before my eyes at the moment. Or maybe that's just lightning. Not sure. Oh shit. Man, I think I'm gonna get stuck here. Look at that. Holy hell, that's next to me. Sawmill shed. Holy hell. Holy hell. That thing broke. Okay guys, so here's the situation. I'm gonna take a little break from the sawmill shed build because obviously I have some damage control to do. I spotted some issues over the stream as well, but I'm gonna make a separate video about that. I don't want this whole situation which just occurred, I don't want it to get lost in the stupid sawmill shed series because it's gonna get lost there. So in this video I'm gonna continue the shed build basically immediately, but I'm gonna make a cleanup video and damage assessment video separately. That video will probably be out before this, and I'm gonna put the link down in the description or the comment section or somewhere down there. Go look if you're interested. But as for this one, let's continue with the stupid shed build. I know it's lame, but it is what it is. Yeah. Hey. Back at the brr train. Yeah, this thing is remarkably straight actually. Pretty sure I eyeballed everything. I'm gonna match us with the beam. I don't see any difference. Freaking eyeballing. It works. Aspen smells so sweet. It's like almost you wanna eat it. Francis, what are you doing? I have no idea. Booty call. Rejected. But you know what, guys? I'm really happy that I decided to use 2x6s to cover the top up nicely. Because yesterday I was fixing the shed roof, and well, when driving the screws through the panel, you have that little window where the wood is at, and like 60% of the time you miss that stupid wood. You have to drive it back out, try to figure out, okay, I have to go a bit there or the other way. Now, when you finally find the wood, your panel has like 10 holes. It's kind of annoying. On this roof, I don't think I'm gonna have that issue, you know. I have a lot more space to drive the screw in. Plus, it's a lot safer to actually walk up here. And whenever I start installing the roof panels, it's gonna be a lot safer installing those things. Kind of feels weird though, a bit. You know, when I'm going that way, no problem, but when I'm walking this way, you know, the wood pattern kind of, I don't know, confuses my brain or something. Get a bit dizzy. Yeah, head starts spinning a bit. But you know, when going this way, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, for example, I don't know, this feels fine. This not so much. Yeah, kind of weird. But next up, what's next? Now, I noticed a little problem with the structure itself, but we're gonna deal with that a bit later. I'm gonna put some. Actually, I'm gonna cut the sides, but first I need to put some type of a lumber under the sideboards, because right now they're not on the same plane. Like half of them are pointing upwards, the other half is pointing downwards. So I'm gonna put like a piece of wood and try to pull them on the same line or same plane. So maybe you can see a bit better from here. Something went horribly wrong in the center there. Now, I have a theory, guys. The sole purpose this thing was invented is to destroy tips or Torx heads or whatever you want to call them. Because this thing will do that very well. I think there's a secret deal between Makita and whoever manufactures those things. Oh, not bad. I'm gonna get it up there though. By the way, guys, I fixed the brake handle on the other saw. I just put buttloads of Gorilla Glue all over the place, plus some spray paint. Yeah, it seems to work pretty good, honestly. Man, that Gorilla Glue is really something. I really like that stuff. Dude, I'm actually really impressed how strong the side is. I even made the overlap more than I usually make. I figured maybe I can put something under the overlap. Hide it from rain, you know. But usually the overlap is pretty weak, but dude, I think we can even park Joseph up here on the roof. This feels pretty solid. I think the roof is ready for some panels now. Should be pretty okay. What do you guys think? I think I'm kinda insane, but it's okay. Who's even gonna read the fine print? By the way, I got this amazing idea. I'm gonna ask for a quotation. Now all the lumber I'm gonna calculate, you know, somewhere on paper. I'm gonna put it together how much lumber I'm gonna use for this shed, and then I'm gonna send an email to a couple of different lumber companies, and you know, I want to see what they will offer me, what the price of lumber would be if I wanted to build a shed like that. I mean, this, I think no, it's gonna be expensive, no doubt, but the 6x12s, that may be a problem, because I haven't seen anyone selling those. The biggest I've seen at lumber stores are maybe like 8x8s. Perhaps some places have 10x10s, but 12s? No, I've not seen that size lumber being sold anywhere. I think that's only like a special order or something like that from the sawmill. So I'm kind of curious to know what they will respond on the 6x12s. I'm gonna try to get that email out pretty soon, and maybe by the end of the video we'll have some replies. But right now, let's go. Well, actually, I can show you right here. You know, the little problem which I mentioned before. Some of you even mentioned it in the comments section on the last video, on the post and beam episode. But I was kind of hoping that maybe if I grid lock this down nicely, that problem would disappear. But it's not quite gone. I'm not sure if you can see. Basically, the center part is moving a little bit that way. Yeah, the entire structure from the center is kind of wobbling back and forth a bit. Now, if I go to the corner, then it's not a problem here. Nothing moves on the corners because I do have those diagonals down there, and also on the other side. But I did not put anything in the center. I figured maybe if I grid lock this down, it's gonna anchor it in place, but Well, it definitely has helped because it was wobbling a lot more before. Now maybe you can see a little bit better now. Yeah, so I need to put a diagonal in the center as well, which will take that wobble away. But luckily I have a pretty good spot to where to place it, right on that post and on the center beam. Okay, that should secure that part. Oh yeah, doesn't wobble anymore. Creates like a physical barrier though inside the space. But you know, I think I'm gonna actually make some type of a wall. Not much, basically up to this point, just a little tiny wall, and leave this gap open to access that side. Because I'm thinking currently that I'm gonna put firewood on that side and sawmilling lumber on this side. Or if I don't have enough lumber, then I can always put firewood on this side as well. I'm not really planning to do anything else in this shed. It's gonna be a firewood shed mostly, and maybe also some sawmill material. So perhaps that little wall there will actually be beneficial if we're gonna separate two different materials. I'm not gonna build the wall right now, maybe later, but next up, well, actually next up would be roof panels, but they haven't arrived yet. I think they're gonna arrive either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. In the meantime though, as you know me, I can't sit still for 2 seconds. So let's start off with the outside facade. Yeah, I'm gonna make exactly the same setup I did with the sawmill shed. I think it looks pretty okay. Plus, then the two buildings will kind of match up, right? I mean, honestly guys, I did not even plan to cut this. I did not plan to cut live edge this year, whatsoever. But you know, in hopes of saving lumber, you know, you do that first cut. But in order to get like good 2x4s or something like that, then you actually need to do one more cut, or you can cut the first off cut thicker. But I decided to cut the first cut as close as possible to the bark, and then make a live edge cut, and then continue with 2x4s or 2x6s or whatnot. So this is like completely, well, I didn't plan for it, it just kind of happened. But it's good, now I can use this stuff to cover that shed. Everything worked out, yo. Now I think I'm gonna do like a quick time lapse about the facade part. It's pretty straightforward. You just kind of super glue bunch of wood to another bunch of wood, right? It's very, very mundane and boring. Plus you guys probably are pissed off about the buzzing sound of the impact driver by now. So maybe some music will do you good. But first, I have a little problem that I need to solve. Well, actually, it's not really a problem, but face value, you can't really tell what's off. Luckily, it would be so bad if it was noticeable from this direction. However, when you go on the side, maybe you can even spot the issue. I did not notice this until too late, as usually. But the first beam, now I'm not sure if you can tell from the camera, but the first beam is not straight. It's basically a banana. Yeah, it goes that way, but then it turns that way, so it's banana from the center. Now I remember this. That beam actually is from last year. It was a leftover from the sawmill shed build. No, it was straight then, but it was sitting on the sawmill bed for the entire winter time. And now on the sawmill bed itself, I noticed that the center part, it was not touching the bed. It was kind of hovering in air about this much. So it's been a banana for a while. And I was kind of hoping that maybe I can push that banana straight while doing the framework. But I guess not. So right now this post is out of level. Yeah. The banana beam pulled this post out of level. Okay, that's pretty good now. And the post is nice and level, but it's not gonna solve the banana problem. Currently the shed from the side looks like someone has rammed into it from the center and it's kind of pushed in, you know. I think it's gonna look a bit weird unless I can fix that somehow. Well, I could put the facade or finish a bit further out from the center, then it would be straight. Maybe I should do that. Not sure at the moment. But guys, let's get to work. Oh, hi! What's up? That took, well, basically nothing. Just the entire day. The entire shed is covered now. I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it's missing a couple of windows, but they don't really make sense on a Firewood shed, right? Yeah, once we put some used engine oil on the thing, I think it's gonna look pretty good. Why is it raining? I haven't started installing the panels yet. What is this crap? Usually it starts raining while I'm installing the panels. That's like a law. Maybe something's changed. Maybe there was a black cat somewhere and it glitched out a bit. I don't know. I did not see anything. But you know, about the wall, I think it's actually a pretty good idea. You know, I'm currently planning to put sawmilling material on this side and then a firewood stuff on that side, and you know, I'm not gonna install those boxes in the shed. I think that's kind of pointless, so I'm gonna leave the boxes for outside, and everything else, you know, basically from that pile firewood we get straight into the shed. And I'm gonna stack the firewood right here. This way I will save a lot of space rather than trying to fit the boxes in here. And for sawmilling materials, I think this is like a very perfect size actually. I mean, most of my lumber which I make is about 3.5 meters long, and we can even fit 4 meters here, so didn't plan for that, by the way. That just kind of happened. Sometimes good things happen. Keep that in mind, guys. So I'm actually happy about that little wall. It kind of separates two types of materials, plus, you know, that little extra post there and the X shape inside the wall. That's definitely gonna add some armor points to the entire shed, right? I'm definitely gonna support that middle beam, although I don't think it really needs supporting. What's next though? I think we're not quite done yet. Still need to install the roof, but the guy hasn't shown. He was supposed to deliver the goods yesterday, and the day is already over, so I don't know. Maybe he fell asleep on the road or something. But maybe we can do the door part now. Dude, the door is gonna be huge. It's like 4 meters wide. So two halves of the door both need to be 2 meters at least. You know what? I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. If the guy hasn't showed up with my roof panels, then we're doing the door. But if we get the roof panels, then we're gonna do the roof. Okay? I'm gonna do a bit of cleanup and go away. Tomorrow, guys. Okay guys, so the roof panels are not here. Guess we can do the door then. Now, if you guys remember, a bit of time ago I made some cleanup attempts in the unsponsored warehouse, and I decided not to throw these things away. Maybe I can use some of them. It's not gonna be a very heavy door, that's for sure. So I maybe don't need anything super strong. There's no matching pairs though. They're all kind of different size. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Maybe these things. Okay, these two match up. This is a nice piece. Sad I only have one. I mean, this would be perfect, right? Look at that. This would be perfect. But I only have one. One is not enough. I need at least 7. I mean 4. What? Why 7? A bit longer as well. Guess this will have to do. I don't have any more. But I don't have any of the bins. The things that go into those holes. You know, I need something like that. Well, I guess I have one. There's a spare over here. None on this side. Look at that, one more. I only need 2 more. Not quite. Oh man. I'm bending my rebar. That thing is breaking. Breaking loose, I mean. There. Look at that, guys. This thing has been in the fire before. It's been already burned out from one post before. But you know, currently only have to need to more. Okay, I just kind of realized that this thing is also part of that thing. It's just missing a part, right? It's yeah, that thing that goes into the wood. But I don't have the other things. However, maybe I can replace it with something. I did find a smaller one as well. I would say it's a bit small, perhaps, but I think I can still use it at the lower spot. It fits there pretty good. And actually, guys, I do have a lot of these. I should have a lot of them actually, maybe like 20, but they're all in the same location. They're all somewhere over here. I know for a fact that I've thrown a lot of those posts into this pile, which had the things inside the posts. Hinges, yeah, now I remember those things. Finding them though from this pile is kind of pointless. It's very time consuming. Even if I had a metal detector, it would take me probably like a couple of days to go through this pile, because there's a lot of well, basically there's a lot of steel, iron pieces in the pile itself. Well, the metal detector would go off immediately and it would not shut up. What are you doing, man? Wow, this thing actually works pretty good. Wow. Steel go bye-bye. Smells like crap, but maybe it will work. Okay, so I think technically it would be better if you don't pre-drill a hole. Just gonna try to ram it in there. But from past experience, well, I haven't really been successful. Plus this is birch, so it's very dense wood. I'm gonna make a little pre-hole for it to be a bit easier. Oh, by the way, usually when you're hammering stuff like that, wear some eye protection, guys, because maybe from the hammer itself chips can break off, and those things fly at the speed of light. Gonna kill you. My buddy once told me that he was hammering something in the workshop, and all of a sudden he felt a sharp pain somewhere above his cheek. As it turns out, a chip broke off from the hammer and actually embedded itself under the skin. So he had to go to the ER in order to have it removed. So lucky that it missed his eyes, because he was not wearing any eye protection at the time. But that can probably blind you, right? Maybe this way. I think I'm gonna put the hinges inside. Then I can drive that thing as deep as I can go. Plus the screws which will be holding the door together, or the hinges to the door, will be inside. Although I never installed hinges on the inside. But it kind of makes sense. Holy hell. Good luck getting that out, whoever is gonna attempt it one day. Probably me. 10 minutes from now, because I realized I did something incorrectly. It's okay though, we have chosen. That guy will pull it out. It's like a tooth. Right? Somewhere there. Oh my. Oh. Try not to miss, okay? I can't hold on to it. Dude, not even Joseph can pull that out. No siree. Okay, so I have no idea actually what is the proper way to build these types of doors, but no, I got an idea. Maybe it will even work. I just gotta calibrate my level quickly. voila! X-Men. Yeah. And now I can just finish the door with whatever. I'm probably gonna use that stuff if I don't have anything other. Now I think the X shape is not necessary, although it should definitely add some points. The most important part is the C part, but you know I don't really like that symbol, so decided to go with the X shape instead. I think that looks pretty okay. It's not quite finished yet, but actually if you observe that over there, then it's very possible I'm gonna get screwed again soon. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to finish the second door as fast as possible. Looks pretty mundane, I guess. Oh man, look at that. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I want to be up there. Somewhere in the clouds, falling down, parachuting, you know. I think that would be really fun. But anyway, let's continue with the door. I'm not quite done with it yet. Kuhu sa lähed uks noh? Kuradi tuul. Paneb siiapoole või? Paneb ikka äärde. Siin oleks parem tegelikult. 60. You know, sometimes it would be just so much easier. Get in the stupid car, go to the iPhone store, and buy something you can use. But now we have to do some stupid voodoo magic. Look at that. Who needs an iPhone store when you have titanium? Bro, that's like titanium, only 10 times better. Man, this carbide burr is really good. Normally you can't drill that stuff. That's a screw. That's very strong. You can't open that anymore. And this is one of those Chinesium drill bits, but you normally can't drill that stuff with a very good drill bit as well. It drills for a little bit, but then it's completely, it's not going anymore. Ah, yeah, look at that. Get wrecked, screw. I have the proper tool now. Yay! Oh yeah, this thing is not even damaged whatsoever. Okay. So I need to engineer something custom on the top as well. I don't want this thing to be like that. I want to lock it from the top as well, so it's locked from the bottom and the top. Then it's locked from the bottom and the top. Look at that, exactly what I need. That's why I told you, never throw steel away, guys. Collect it all. Kuradi. I think the doors came out pretty okay. Took me an entire day again, but hey, at least I saved some monies. And didn't need to buy any locking mechanisms. Just kind of used what I had. Plus, you probably can't buy something special like that, right? Only general crap. And plus those things. You always have some issues with the winds pushing the door everywhere. That should nicely keep it in place. And yeah, the hinges as well. Yeah. Now, actually, those things are quite expensive. They're like 20 euros per piece. And you can't get anything like this from a standard store. I mean, look at the thickness of that steel there. You know, from the store you can buy something like this and just compare the thickness. It's at least 2 or 3 times thicker. Good example right there. They just kind of make crap these days. Nothing good. Now I should probably slap myself for debating if I should throw them away or not. Definitely needed them today. And you know, I've never really installed those things inside, but actually this kind of makes more sense, you know, because you can't undo them from the inside if the door is locked, right? Plus it doesn't really matter, I think. It should still function pretty normally. I think this is actually a pretty good idea. Wonder why mostly they're installed outside. I can't think of a reason. Maybe you guys have some. But anyway, guys, I want to install a stupid roof, but it still hasn't arrived yet. However, I think I can do one more thing. I can oil the building, and then the only thing remaining is the roof. So I guess let's oil the building. Oh man. I guess oiling it is out of the question for now. It decided to rain the entire night. Everything is wet. Yeah, the thing needs to sit for at least a couple of weeks with the roof on it before I can even think about oiling it now. About the roof though, I called the guy up like 3rd time and I still don't have my panels. He told me like 2 or 3 days, but it's been weeks now. Getting really annoying, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna pick this video up when I get the panels finally. It is what it is. Can't deal with it right now. I'm just gonna go do something else. Fancy. It's really great that my spaceport can accumulate or accept such large trailer trucks, right? I think that's actually a pretty good plus. But you know, finally got those things now, so now we can actually finish this episode. By the way, guys, the emergency department declared a warning that we're gonna get like a major storm again. In the coming few days, we might actually get something what we witnessed before. Hopefully it's gonna miss us, but you know, I can't fight nature. That guy will do his own thing. In the meantime though, I'm gonna try to get the panels up to the roof. Gonna probably need old blue for that part. You know, that guy never disappoints. Such a trooper. What are you talking about, Miss Rosha? That's safer than safe. But, you know, probably you have some questions, so I have some answers. Number A. Sorry, no, number A. It's just number 1. So, number 1. Oh yeah, number 1. The panels are quite heavy. So that's about, I think, like 36 kilos per one panel. So even 10 of them is almost 400 kilos. Number 2, one of the forks is kind of iffy, so it's probably gonna break. And number 3, if I try to take the whole pallet at the same time, then most likely that stupid front axle over there, which you can see, it's basically molded out of used toilet paper. So most likely it's just gonna break in half. That has happened before many times. Not on me, but on that tractor. The front end on the front axle on this tractor is just complete garbage. So I'm just gonna take, I don't know, 10 at a time. I have 54 there. So yeah, do heavy. Just generally do heavy. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Oh, it even looks better. At least from this side. And yeah, that end will be nice. Well, pretty much. But this end I have to then later cut out with the roof support. Because the roof panels, they will not go like that, they will actually go there. Because of that little glitch. And maybe from here you can see a bit better. Yeah, the panel will basically go there, not straight. So, but that's not a problem. We can fix that later. As long as this overlap is pretty much stable, because I do need to install that rain gutter here one day. Looks pretty okay. And this line also needs to be pretty straight. And this looks pretty okay. I think I can hammer down the first layer. Now each panel gets 4 screws, but 2 of those screws will go through 2 different panels. Exactly 15. Let's go with that. And you don't want to really put them too tight. The panels actually do move a little bit with the sun and all. Need some room for expansion there. Oh, by the way, the old roof on the old shed that I had here, the old panels, I never screwed those down. Yeah, they were just kind of doing their thing up here, and it was okay. Nothing happened. About the storm situation, guys, though, nothing happened during the night. But the air is right now extremely moist, and well, it's very warm. Plus the emergency department gave an update that we might get something later today. You know, yesterday it was messing around somewhere in the Belarus area, also Ukraine, and it's just kind of leveled. Hectares of forest. Just imagine the force required for that. That's crazy. Just imagine like a forest area, 1 kilometer long, and all the trees were just kind of pushed down. That would be insane if it happened here. I mean, I only lost 1 tree. Well, actually 2, but yeah, it would be crazy if everything would be leveled in this area. And sometimes I do wonder the power of nature. I mean, just try to imagine like earthquakes. Yeah. Just try to imagine the energy required to move land masses. Dude, you can't even calculate that. That is just insanely high numbers. And for example, that guy can't clearly compete with those numbers. No, sir. Those are just unimaginable. The forces of nature are just incredibly impressive. But no, enough of Weather Channel business. Let's try to get this roof sorted out before that storm hits. At least then we can see some roof panels flying. What a mess. What a mess. Natukene tegelikult peaks sinnapoole rihtima. See guys, it only looks weird if it looks weird from the right viewpoint. And this right here is the right viewpoint. And it doesn't look weird at all, at least from downstairs. That's what matters. Yeah, everything pretty much seems plumb. Not sure about that though, maybe I left the overlap too big. Plus it's kind of not straight. And we should probably try to cut that as well. I mean, that was pretty successful, right? Maybe take like, I don't know, then something off. Get that straight edge. Probably not a good idea. Look at that. So much straighter. Looks a lot better. Yeah, I was debating for a while if I should do that cut or not. Mostly because of my laziness. But I'm glad I did that one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna basically end this video now. I don't have anything else to add at the moment. Although we're gonna get at least one more video about the firewood shed. I still have buttloads of work to do, but maybe we can do them. Maybe we can finish this project in one final video. I mean, for comparison, I recall that the sawmill shed was 5 episodes as well. So basically, this is the 4th, right? So that would be, the next one would be the 5th and final. I think overall they're about the same size. So one is a bit longer, but the other one is a bit fatter. Room wise though, should be about the same. But guys, I'm gonna take a little pause from this project. Actually, I wanna work on the, yeah, that piece of lemon. You will never believe what I found in the gearbox. But more on that in another video. This one is finished. Bye bye. Oh, by the way guys, I forgot to mention one thing. I did get a price quotation from one lumberyard, and well, they didn't have any of those big pieces, 6x12s, but instead of them they offered to sell me laminated beams, roughly the same size and all, but those things are pretty expensive. However, all the lumber combined, 4.5 grand plus the tax. So with the tax, it's about, I don't know, like, well, probably a bit less than 6, maybe 5.5 grand. Doesn't actually seem a lot, right? Just for the lumber. But still, 5.5 grand is a lot of money. Something that I saved. Something that I did not need to buy. Oh, by the way, if you did not know this, I'm about to totally get screwed soon. But that's another story for another time. Bye bye.